No worst, there is none. Pitched past pitch of grief, more pangs will, schooled at four pangs, wilder ring. Comforter, where? Where is your comforting, Mary, mother of us? Where is your relief? My cries heave herds long, huddle in amain, a chief woe, world sorrow. On an age-old anvil, wince and sing, then lull, then leave off. Fury had shrieked, no lingering. Oh, the mind! Mind has mountains, cliffs of fall, frightful sheer, no man fathomed. Hold them cheap who ne'er hung there, nor does long our small durance deal with that steep or deep here. Creep, wretch, under a comfort serves in a whirlwind, all life death does end, and each day dies with sleep. Okay, there's a lot to unpack in this poem. It is a song of despair. When he says pitched past pitch of grief, the play on the word pitch is so wonderfully polysemous. It's as if the word itself becomes a song. Pitch pot, the black pitch of that sticky stuff you get from tar, which will not leave your hands. Pitch in the sense of hurled forward and plunging headfirst, like Milton, hurled headlong, flaming from the ethereal sky with hideous ruin and combustion down to bottomless perdition, there to dwell in adamantine flames and penal fires. To be pitched head first is perhaps the greatest terror of all. You're inverted in the world and plunging down. And for someone who is always trying to leap up to his God and heal the terrible rifts between the all too human and the divine, this is a poem about failed colloquy. And a lot does hang on that verbal chiming of the very resonant and evocative word pitch. One other sense of pitch, the musical sense, because there is a sense, and Hopkins was very musical and in fact composed music, and there is a sense in which pitch, in the musical sense, pitched past pitch of grief, a musician of despair. So pitched past pitch of grief, think of devil's music, if you will. Think of a tonality that is atonal and jarring and cacophonous. And there you have the musical sense of pitched past pitch of grief. More pangs will schooled at four pangs wilder ring. And we all know that the return of hurt, the constant echoing of hurt, in a sense of PTSD or eternal recurrence of the same cluster of cruelties, hurts way more than an additive function. One grief plus one grief plus one grief plus one grief plus one grief doesn't equal 5 times grief. There's a multiplying effect when the griefs keep coming. And his image of the herds long, huddled in amain, a chief woe, world sorrow. And then we get to a very interesting point, because the phrase world sorrow was so popular in philosophy from Schopenhauer and Kierkegaard. You have a chief woe, world sorrow. And suddenly it's not even just his personal grief, it is the grief of the world. A chief woe, world sorrow, on an age-old anvil, wince and sing. And an anvil, you picture this iron anvil and a bulking Corsica just bashing down with that intense striking away of soul and human dignity and presence. It's like the drop torture, drop, 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 only being struck instead of with a water drop by a sledgehammer. An age-old anvil, wince and sing. Then lull, then leave off. Fury had shrieked, no lingering. Let me be fell, force I must be brief. And then this astonishing thing, because we can talk in poetics about poets like Wordsworth, oh my gosh, Rilke, who opened up these enormous interior spaces, spaces of subjectivity, spaces of interiority, spaces of the mind. But look how spatially Hopkins opens this up. Oh, the mind has mountains, cliffs of fall, frightful, sheer, no man fathomed. We've gone from this rapid succession of bangs and pings and dings and anvil clashes and no worse there's none and pitched past pitch of grief to this opening. Oh, the mind has mountains, cliffs of fall, frightful, sheer, no man fathomed, and suddenly you're in this interior, almost solipsistic space, as if the grief itself has gagged him into an interiority that he can't escape. Oh, the mind has mountains, cliffs of fall, frightful, sheer, no man fathomed. Hold them cheap who ne'er hung there, nor does long our small durance deal with that steep or deep here. Creep, wretch. A comfort serves in a whirlwind, and suddenly it's like Job in the whirlwind, the comfort that serves in a whirlwind. Amidst all this, what's he going to find comfort in? A further union and a deeper communing with God, fantastic colloquy, or a ritual of healing, or a sacrament that brings him home? No, it's pretty pathetic. Under a comfort serves in a whirlwind. All life, death does end. And each day dies with sleep. All right, we've all been bleak enough at times when sleep offered a certain comfort, and we all know that human despair ends with death, but putting them together, that's a pretty bleak comfort for Gerard Manley Hopkins ever. So these are the fruits of a period where God is distant, difficult, and his most sincere attempts at making the connection are like dead letters sent to him who lies, alas, away. Heartbreaking.